here. Quarterback Logan Kilgore, running back Benny Cunningham, defensive end Omar McClendon, and defensive tackle Jimmy Staten on the end. Now available for questions.
This is for any one of you four. One of you guys can answer, whoever. What's the mindset of the team heading into this season?
I think that mindset is really just focusing on burying last season and proving that this core group is ready to be a new team and to bring all the hard work and things that we've done since last season and showcase that to our fans and to everybody.
Just talk about you guys, the program in the last few years enjoyed a lot of success in the Sun Belt. What do you think it'll take to get back in the race to be back to the upper echelon of the Sun Belt this year? Anyone you four can take it.
I believe our focus, our coach is always preaching, being mentally tough and being focused, and I just feel like as long as we're staying focused and we set goals and then strive for those goals, then we can always be back on top like where we used to be some years ago.
Benny, just talk about when the poll came out on a few weeks ago, Middle was picked 7th, finished 7th. And I know you guys probably don't pay attention, or maybe you do, but just talk about how much motivation does it give you guys just how much motivation does it give you guys for this season?
I really feel like last season is enough motivation going into this season. And I know that none of my teammates want to be where we were last season. So I really feel like that was just enough. After that day, after our last game, I feel like people had the mindset that we never want to have that feeling again. So I feel like the 2-10 season really was enough motivation coming into this season.
I gotcha. Logan, this is for you. Of course, this will be your first full season with Coach Faulkner calling the plays for the first time all season. Just talk about I kind of asked him this a few minutes ago. It's, how much of a comfort level do you have now with him the more you've worked together with him?
Coach Faulkner and the entire offensive staff, they're just oozing with knowledge. I mean, it's easy to go up there and talk with them, and I think that's going to carry over into the season. I felt good with Coach Falk last season. It was just a matter of, now he's had the whole spring, the whole offseason to implement his ideas and his way of calling and kind of getting to know the way that he likes things done. And I think that's just going to give us an advantage, going into the season rather than, 1 week having it one way and then the next week trying to, he was kind of handcuffed and wasn't really able to implement all his ideas mid-season, last year. So it's been good, and I'm excited to start off this full season.
Jimmy, just talk about your two new, you have Coach Ellis coming back, but of course you add a guy with a lot of experience in Coach Nix. Just talk about being a chance to play for those two guys this season.
Both of those coaches, I think we're going to have a great season, first of all. And both of those coaches, they're working well together. Coach Nix, I love the way he coaches, the way he gets after it. And I think we're just going to have a good year.
And then final question, one of the things that Coach Stockstill and the rest of the staff has stressed since he's got here is the turnover margin. Near the bottom of the standings last year, I know that's a point of emphasis this year. And of course that's what Coach Nix and Coach Ellis both discussed when they were up here a couple of minutes ago. Just talk about what is it going to take you? What do you guys need? What you guys need to work on to get that turnover margin back to the top of the Sun Belt?
I think
go ahead.
I think it's more what we need to continue to work on, because all summer we've been working, getting better, at everything. We don't want to have another 2-10 season, and we won't. So.
Logan, you had Schultz 2 years ago. You had Willie last year as your offensive coordinator. Now you have Buster. You've changed a lot. I don't know how much the scheme has changed there, but is that tough to make that transition each year?
It's actually been this is my fourth because I signed with Tony Franklin, but I really don't think that it is. I mean, looking at defenses and understanding how teams are going to play us isn't going to change. Some of the verbiage has changed and things like that, but the current system that Coach Falk has implemented is verbiage is very simple, and I think that it's really given our guys an easy way to learn things, and I think that that it's been a really quick turnaround, quicker than most might
Omar, a minute ago, Coach said last season was 4 months of sorriness, I think is how he said it. Do you guys see it that way? Does it matter how the players see last season in preparation for this one?
I believe, of course, it does, because it was kind of like suffering last season. I mean, like Benny was saying earlier, none of us want to go back through that. I believe we do have to take that year into consideration, because that was a lot. We had to learn a lot. We were really young. It was a good learning experience for us, because, you have to lose a lot to be able to gain success. So I believe that, we take a lot and still do. We took a lot and still take a lot from that season.
Benny, when Buster gets up here and talks about what he called a vertical running game and running the ball a lot downhill, as a guy that I'm sure wants a lot of carries, is that something that rings in your ears a little bit?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I know we talked about it, and he really, believes in me going downhill, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes for the offense to be productive. So if that's the scheme downhill, then I'm all for it.
Benny, continuing on that similar kind of vein, it seems like there's a little bit of there's a lot of depth behind you, whether experienced or newcomers. How is it, as essentially the number one guy, to know that you got guys that can give you that rest and keep you fresh for the fourth?
It's a big relief. I have a lot of faith in those guys. I've been working with these guys for a while now, so I know what everyone brings to the table. And I feel like I'm blessed to have, William Pratcher and Drain Calhoun, be on the board with me, and practices are good. I learn things from them. I teach them some things when I can, and it's just a good experience.
I asked Coach Stock about some of the things going on. I don't know how much you guys have heard, but down in Florida State, the team's been banned from Twitter because guys are getting a little bit out of hand. Not sure which of you guys are the biggest Twitter users, but is there kind of a little monitoring of, trying to keep each other in line, saying, don't upset the cart for each of us?
I'm really not sure. I really don't pay attention to it. I'm all football in school, so I really don't know what else is going on with everyone else's Twitter. But I'm really focused on Camp and McNeese right now.
And should it be within a coach's scope to be able to just take that away from you if he sees the need?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe if he feels like it's getting out of hand, he'll take it away. I don't think it'll be a problem for the team to give it up. We all know that the goal is this season and not Twitter. So, if he feels that we shouldn't have a Twitter, I'm sure that there'll be no problem for everyone to give it up.
Logan, you got a little smile on your face. What are your thoughts on this whole?
I think that, anything you do in social media or, anything on the internet is, it's going to come back to haunt you later on. I think that, a lot of things down with Florida State, they're just protecting those guys. It's not like they're punishing them. They're just protecting them. When you go on a job search, that your tweet today will be there 10 years from now, and it'll be easy for employers to look at and stuff like that. Coach Stock talks to us about it. He talks to us about Facebook and being smart and stuff like that. But, it really just comes down to common sense. It's not like I think he trusts us enough for us to use our own discretion.
Guys, last year, being able to run the ball and being able to stop the run, two key things that didn't happen as well as you guys wanted. Benny, is there almost, number one, how does it feel to be healthy again going into fall camp? And at the point you got hurt a year ago, we were at the top of the league in running the football. Do you think with this group together, running as, almost as a, kind of almost look at you as like a group of linebackers or a group of offensive linemen, do you all treat it like that as a group of three?
I feel like, you know, we take it upon us if we don't run well. Like, I remember some games Coach Stock had expectations set out for us about how many rushing yards he think we should get, and it really motivated us mentally. So I feel like we all kind of know what we have to do, you know, to be productive for the offense.
And Omar, talk a little bit about kind of reflect on what Coach Stock talked about and Coach Nix and Ellis about being able to stop the run and how important that is going to be for you guys to have success on the defensive side of the ball.
First off, you know, Coach Nix has brought a really aggressive mentality towards the D-line and towards the linebackers, really for the whole defense. I just feel as though that if you can't stop the run, then, I mean, you're not going to win many games. I mean, we showed that, you know, last season. But if we're able to stop the run, we're able to eat because, like, we're fast guys. You know, we like to run around. And if we can't stop the vertical run, then, you know, we're not going to be able to get after the quarterback and, you know, do what we do and get sacks. So stopping the run is key to us being a successful defense.
Did you guys break camp last year feeling like any sort of inkling that sort of season was ahead of you? And I guess how important is camp going into this season to set the table?
No, absolutely not. I think that, you know, all of us would agree that, you know, I never felt like there were signs, you know, that a season like that was coming. I felt like, you know, I probably sat up at the last press conference and said, I'm excited to go play Purdue and we're excited about this year. I think that we played well. I think that, you know, I think it was about week 6 we were standing up here and really saying, you know, our record isn't, you know, indicative of the team we are, but it just so happened that, you know, we couldn't do things to get those wins. And I think that the difference between last year's group and this year's group is, you know, Omar, Benny, you know, the core seniors are really bought in. They're not thinking about down the road. They're not worried about, you know, getting a paycheck in 2 years or whatever. No, they're talking about winning the Sun Belt this year. They want to win, and it's really carried down to the underclassmen. I think that, you know, we really needed a game like North Texas. I think that if we went on that road trip and ended up with a win or something like that, then, you know, we might not be as hungry right now. That was embarrassing. It was one of the most painful moments for me. I know for Benny too, and I'm sure for those guys. So, I mean, I think that, you know, just having an experience like that has set us up and to go forward in camp. And I don't know if Omar, you want to add anything?
No, like Logan said, I mean, it was like the last game was embarrassing, but going into a season, you never think negatively. You always have a positive, you know, insight on everything because, you know, it's what you work for. You work to play, you work to win, and I mean, I know none of those guys had that thought of, you know, the season was going bad. And when it was going bad, we were trying to figure out ways to, you know, turn the season around. You know, we always keep a positive attitude about whatever the situation is. So we're just striving, you know, for greatness.
Any more questions for student athletes? All right, guys, thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Just want to remind you guys a couple of things. Back in the back, I have the camp schedule. It's back there, and also our weekly press conference schedule.